Using these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10mm bolts to remove the adapter. I don't know what you call this thing. Part of the effort is to find all the gaskets, the right gaskets. So I will, when I get it done correctly, I will list all the part numbers on these gaskets. And I now have 3 carburetors with a pretty rough looking gasket around. This is the state of the gasket on the air side of the carburetors. I'm going to start over here. Kind of rough, beat up around the corners pretty hard. Let's get a little deeper look on that. Just greasy looking, oily. It looks like we had a leak there. Yeah. Both these corners got hacked off. They had these gasket keys on there for those holes that are ripped off at this point. All right. Get it off in one piece. All right. That's it. All right, there's 2 hoses per carb. This one and then this guy here that have to come off to get the carb off. So I'm going to work on each of those as we go in. Now I'm going to try to see if I can get this guy off. There we go. First carb off. The bottom carb. I need to identify these somehow. This one, take this gasket off. Yeah, that gasket's stuck on there pretty hard. A little bit on the surface there. And this one's really stuck. It was due. Push that down, and there's your pin. That's the pin set in there that notoriously gets dirty in the little holes. All right, I took the one bowl off because I wanted to look at it. Look at the dirt in that thing, man. Whew. That dirt. I've got to find. It looks like the same gasket. So I think you just buy 2 per setup. I'm not sure how these spacers come off yet. It looks like these are just keys holding that on place. But, you know, this is. I haven't seen anybody. It doesn't have any outside access. It's just a device. And I noticed on a couple other people working on their engines, they had a same thing was crusted over in their device, their motor. So, all right. I'm getting started today. Unfortunately, this gum mount from Amazon was sent without the straw, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to see if I can't find another straw around here somewhere. But other than that, we're ready to get started. I also bought this little carb cleaning kit, and the primary thing I wanted from it was a really thin, needle to try. All right, the carb is dirty. Ethanol, and who knows what else. I have ordered these gaskets, but they haven't come in yet. So we'll be taking it out, and we won't finish the carb today. And I probably will only do one because I don't want to intermingle the parts between the 3 carbs. It's a little sticky. A little sticky. Yeah, held up pretty well. Doesn't look deformed or anything. This guy's ready to get a clean on. So we'll just put it. I use this old enamel tray. I also keep these around. You can use these to carb clean in. So it's nice to have a couple extra trays if you want to set something aside to soak while you're working on other stuff. So what you do here is you push this pin out, and supposedly one side's better than the other. It's a little stuck. That's not good. Yeah, that was a little stuck in there. There's your needle. I mean, looks fine. Everything's just gunky. Got a tiny little hole down in there where the needle blocks on the float. The float's stuck here. I mean, it could have stuck. Yeah, you can see a little sticky spot there. I think maybe a little lip that stops it from coming off. So you can either slide it off just there and leave the wireframe on, which I think will be easier. I don't think there's any reason to clean the wireframe. Yeah, that was pretty easy. So there's our needle. Put it over here in my tray. This I'll clean a different way. This doesn't need cleaning. But the big thing we're going to work on is this needle in here, which comes out via this screw. And there's a sliding outer covers flange, if you will, and then the needle. And they say that this you use a screwdriver once you have the top off to pop. So this is a drain. Lets the it's a needle that, you know, you could I don't know if there's going to be a seal on that or not. I've, you know, loosened these and put them back. You know, you pretty much take them back to where they're just tight. Let's just check real quick. Because the kit comes with like three. One kit came with 4, one kit came with 3 round gaskets. I was curious if this one had one. Yeah, it does. Now, right here is a tube that goes into the needle. It's interesting because, you know, there's nothing we did. That's so weird because that doesn't really, it goes to this gasket. We're working on 2, so it would be the top. Good. So I'm going to look at the manifold upstairs and figure out where that hole goes, because it definitely is a jet. I'm just curious. It doesn't, I mean, I'm going to spray it down. There's 2 holes there that seem to be operative for something. Carburetor's got some decent amount of goop in there. Played around long enough. So I don't know exactly what this screw is doing here, and it is super grody looking. There's a hole. This I mean, this could be a big part of the problem right now. This thing has a little hole in it that doesn't really blow right now. There we go. And it has a hole there. We're gonna give it a quick poke. You see all that goop coming out. Definitely needs cleaning. Get in there and get soaked. Come back to our main needle. This is called a slow valve, slow needle, someone said. Alright, everything's coming off pretty cleanly. This is just a cover screw for the needle, full of gunk, and supposedly, you know, they made it look easier to get to that stupid, I'm definitely not taking that valve off. Maybe they came through the other side. Yeah. This screwdriver feels too big to have an impact to pop this up. I can get just what's left of this gasket off. Keep the blade really flat. Okay. All right, well, we're back to needing to get this needle out. And I haven't done any more on it since we shot it last time. I'm going to try pushing up on this piece. It doesn't move at all. Let's see. Oh. They come out there. Alright, I finally got it out. I ended up using a knife to get down in there. But you can see it's pushed forward. I could not find a screwdriver that was skinny enough to get into the little lip of edge that it had. So here's our needle coming in. We're all seeing it for the first time. Pretty crusty looking. It's a little stuck, so I don't want to force that. Let's see, there's a gasket on the little end part. Hopefully you guys can see that. Alright, I let it soak for a little bit and gave it just a little gentle tug on this, and it came out. So here is our gooped up. Oh, golly. Ah, so dirty. Let's see if this one does. Yeah, this one does. You can actually see the bottom for now. It had like a copper green patina on it. Okay, we'll go through those holes. Put a little more spray down the middle. I'm holding up to light, and there's just a little bit of a dusty edge, maybe. How's the bowl looking? The bowl has a little bit of an indention in there, corrosion spot where the bowl had sat on it. You can see that little that erosion spot there. I think you could probably see that. This guy changes this needle. It goes to this jet. And since I know nothing about it, and I haven't seen anybody else talk about changing this, is I think the balancer. Dude, I don't want to do that. I'm not messing with that. I'm going to let it ride. This thing right here goes to that guy there, and it has a needle hole there. But this guy. We have these two medium-sized, one small gasket here, and I know one of those mediums goes on the bottom of this, but I don't know where the other one goes. And one goes on this, so I think the two mediums are those. Then the small one, who knows? I mean, it could it go on this? It didn't have one. Definitely not put one on if it didn't have one. And then this thing, the needle, the float needle, doesn't seem to have anything. I don't know. So all I can figure it's in this thing. So we're not going to use it. But I finally found a good use for it. Look at this. It's perfect. Took that right off. It looks a different shape. These are stretched out a little bit, maybe. An idiot. Alright. So, oh, that does not fit there. That's too big. So that's what the other one goes on. The little one goes on the needle. Okay, let's get that on there. Alright, We have our gasket on our needle. Fingers crossed. Supposedly just sits in there, and then the screw puts enough pressure on it to seat it back on. There's nothing, no gaskets or anything on this guy. Now I don't know if I should put the side screw back on first or the top screw, but I did it this direction, so I'm going to going in reverse order. So put this guy back in, and then come back over here and start over. Again, I'm just giving this kind of a tightening, a mild tightening, not putting any pressure on it or anything. Alright, now time to put our needle back in. Alright. Take that. Oh, look how dirty that nasty thing is. Yeah, needs some cleaning. Why is it blue? Like, I don't know better. That looks like someone's running 2-cycle through there. What the heck? Wasn't me. Alright, so it is not like this. It is definitely down. That's what I thought. What's weird to me is this shiny spot. I think somehow that ended upside down, because like the corroded spot part is the upper. Oh, that's dummy. Yeah, it's upside down, dummy. I knew I had something wrong going there. All right, so I'm pulling this out so I can see that it clips in on the outside of the float. So what do I do with it? There it is. Okay, so you look at it like this. I've got it backwards. Don't know that it matters, but we're going to go back. Try to be identical. We're just going to slide that in. Look at that one over here real quick. It's interesting enough, it slides in. Yeah, I guess that's the right spot. Slides into this little crease right here, a little bit down. Now, how hard is this? Because it's so tiny. Okay, this one's floppier than this one. Why is this one not floppy? Wait till it matters, because it's going to be kind of held in place. Okay, we found our pin. It was up under the seat right there. Is there anything different? I just don't see a difference. I'm not putting much of a tightening on these. Might come back later and tighten them a little more. First off, there's a chance there's something happens in one of these carbs. I want to come back, take them all apart, and do something. It's my first time working on this motor, so I'm not going to overcrank anything. We're going 0, 1, and 2 because I'm a Python programmer, and we start in 0. So 0, 1, 2. This is our third carburetor. It's done. Now we're going to move on to the other 2. We've already started, as you know. Taking this one apart, we're going to move our screws and our float pin over to our final destination spot.